Folks, Mike Morris here, CEO of One Stop Growth and Freight IQ Chain's founder. Here to discuss three of the problems that are in trucking. There's more than three, but we're just going to discuss three of them. Freight fraud, a problem with anybody really verifying who's real, and spot market efficiency being broken. All of my sources here, feel free to cite them. But if you're looking at the spot market and you're not someone who's in trucking, I want you to think of it kind of like that Uber package delivery that you might have to have something shipped across town. Well, distributors, manufacturers, brokers, whoever it might be, they have to have a carrier move that, right? And the problem is that essentially out of 2 million truckloads moving a day, there are 700,000 spot market load postings, right? Only 25% of these get converted, right? Which means that your stuff and stuff that's needed to get wherever it is isn't there on time, right? The problem is that this is a very vulnerable place to spot market. Why? Because things are posted up on load boards, and what happens, right? You have bad actors who jump in here, and there's about recorded 500 million annual fraud losses a year. It's estimated a billion plus, and as you've noticed from the other deck, it's up over 1,000% from 4 years ago. That's bad, right? So what we aim to do here is they aim to solve these problems, and we're going to solve these problems with three different things, right? Actual fraud prevention, nip it in the bud at the source the first time, and everything's good from there. That's verified available truck signaling and also digital reputation, because right now there is no way to know who is actually a good carrier, who's actually a good broker, who's a good shipper. Yes, there are the, carrier 411s out there and whatnot. There are, ratings people can leave on Google and different places. Sometimes disgruntled people leave things and you don't know if it's true or not, right? But how do we solve that? Auto match and smart contracts. So this allows people to know who's who, what's what, and for it to be very efficient. Let's get into this before I jump all the way in. These pieces here, these are all modular, meaning that we are not somebody who is here to compete with every single TMS system, every single load board, whatever. We're somebody who's here to complement it, because this has to be something that has to be built on the back end, and it has to be deployed in a major way so everyone can actually adopt it, or most people can, right? And then we can cut down some of this fraud by a large margin. To that point, there are two dashboards I have here, Carrier Edition and a Broker Edition. Now, I will say this, I have used a lot of TMS systems in these past 9 months, and a lot of them have a lot of hard work that was put into them, just lack of quality when it comes to a carrier, right? And you have to be a carrier that has a lot of trucks underneath you, ergo a lot of revenue, to have any sort of input. So that was a problem for me. I figured, hey, why not build my own? Put in exactly what I would like to see. Well, let's start with VATS. VATS would be verified available trucking signaling, right? You can choose exactly what kind of truck you have based on this. You can filter it down to dry vans, et cetera, reefers, whatever it might be, right? And you could say, okay, well, hey, our ELD is already in this truck, right? We can just share the availability, hours of service, what kind of vehicle it is. Hour of service, because people only get 11 hours to drive, and some people go beyond that, use paper logs, things like that. FMCSA does not really like that or take too kindly to it. They will put you out of service for it. So this is important for everybody. The second portion is going to be what's known as ident. Now, why ident? Because, well, think about it from this perspective. This is indeed a Web3 technology I'm looking to build, right? Or building, actually. So we're looking to use blockchain. Ident itself is already at about, I'd say, a good 97% completion. It's like a digital passport for people and companies using apps and platforms in the Web3 world. And especially in logistics, this is going to be a big case study. And it's proving who you are, building a trust score, and unlocking better deals, all while keeping your personal data safe. And how this works: when a company or a person signs up, Ident verifies their identity like a secure background check. Think of it like a TSA pre-check. Gives them a reputation score that is based on their behavior. Things like on-time deliveries, verified payments, smart contract activity. That score is going to be shared across platforms, not just one app, kind of like how your Uber rating follows you. And the more trustworthy you are, the more you can do and access new services, get discounts, and skip wait times. So there is a token with that, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. Um, what it's doing is it's using blockchain behind the scene, right? It's a utility. It actually serves a purpose, unlike a lot of these things that are out here. And it's making sure that data is secure, fair, and owned by the user, not by a company. But that's just a small segment on ident. But why it's important? Well, because it's paired with vet. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, ident can allow you, in combination with VATs, to be able to prove exactly who you are, show your track record, and get better payment terms automatically, right? Maybe more discounts on fuel, because again, looking at it from a full perspective, even from the identity theft and fuel cards, credit cards, all these things get stolen on a regular basis. I would wager that most of these companies, who I'm looking forward to joining this pilot, being stakeholders, however you might want to put it, would actually be in a position to say, yeah, we'd rather give discounts to people who, are running clean or doing what they're supposed to be doing. So those are the three main things that this pretty much covers. As far as the go-to-market strategy, in case anybody was wondering about investing, we're looking at spot market freight of being 300 billion. Dollars moved a year. Right. Here's my sources: DAT Freight Analytics. We're looking at 60 billion of that 300 billion being digitally accessible. Right. And realistically, I'm only looking to start to capture 2% of this market, right? I'm looking to deal with people who actually want the efficiency and everything else that comes along with what this product offers and what our goal here at Freight IQ Chain is. There is a lot more to this, invoice factoring, a lot of different things that can go into it. I don't think it's important really to touch on that right now. I think the main thing is to say, hey, as a carrier, I know what it's like to deal with the large amount of brokers that I deal with. I know what the inefficiencies have looked like throughout the months that I've been in this, and I'm here to solve it. I'm here to create change, because here's the most important thing. Again, nothing gets inside of your house without a truck. And to that point, if, we want to actually get more efficient as a country, and we want to be in alignment with what most manufacturers, distributors, and other folks that really take time to make things and craft things for us on the regular basis should be into, then we should start looking at, hey, how do we eliminate waste? How do we actually, use Lean Six Sigma, right? How do we actually get more efficient? How do we actually step into the present when it comes to trucking and all of our things being moved where they need to go? So, thank you for watching, and feel free to send me a message. Feel free to drop an email at info@freightiqchain.com if this is not on a regular platform and you're seeing this on YouTube or something and there is no inbox. Or most importantly, if you are a carrier, broker, shipper, and you want to join the pilot, feel free to just sign up on that directly online. I don't think that's showing right now on the screen. So yeah, just feel free to show that directly online and we'll go from there. Thanks.